happened?
Thank you so much. Let me use this opportunity, first of all, to thank the lawyers with great association with our great party, National Democratic Congress, who made time to join the conference in Akufo-Addo. It was a great time to Georgia to look at diverse issues from election security, from issues about electoral laws, matters about courtroom issues, among many other things that resource persons that we pull from diverse areas provided. And I want to use this platform to thank all the people that were helpful, our chairperson, the Honorable Betty Modi Drisu, who demonstrated that leadership of, putting together this whole legal committee. She's the chairperson of our legal committee. That notwithstanding, I want to thank the national chairman, the general secretary, the national executives for the help in putting this program together. My predecessor, Amaliba, LC, and all the members and the good work that was done to make the progress successful. As you are aware, H.E. John Dramani Mahama joined the conference via Zoom, and it was so beautiful. It provided a huge insight into current happenings in the country, and among other things, raised the issues that have become topical today.
Well, is this something, what he said, do you as Director of Legal of the National Democratic Congress agree with his stance?
In fact, I cannot disagree. You see, today, you've watched a video of the deposed president of Gabon, Omar Bongo, now asking people to make noise. Have you watched that video?
Yes, famously. Yeah.
Do you know that this is the same president that few weeks ago, proud to making the video of people making noise, shut down the internet? Do you know that?
Yeah.
There was an opportunity for people to make noise earlier. But what did he do? He thought he was in charge. He has taken absolute charge. Until his own cousin removed him from office. Now it has dawned on him that there's a need for people to make noise. H.E. John Dramani Mahama does not intend to behave as an ostrich, so that in the face of matters that are happening in this country, he will say he's oblivious of that. I mean, when you get to the point of H.E. John Dramani Mahama, if you cannot speak truth to power, if you cannot be candid and honest about development in the country, then you are not worth anybody following you. And that is why we in the NDC completely associate with the concerns and observations made by H.E. John Dramani Mahama. And you see, it is for the growth of this democracy, this 30-year-old constitution, for us to speak out. Because the dangers associated with not speaking out is one day you'll be like Omar Bongo, where you now be telling people, speak out, by which time it will be too late.
Radio Gold.
You see, Senna, first of all, we all appreciate that you, Senna, and I, if there's a dispute between us, the only reason why we will not resort to self-help, you know self-help, as in taking the law into our own hands, but most likely go to courts, is that we have confidence in the outcomes of the court. Correct?
Yes.
You see, that's the only thing that would make you and I, if you encroach upon my land, the only reason why I go to court for an action for declaration of title and seek an injunction against you is that I know, or the two of us agree, that as for this person, once he decides, that will be all. But if the very first day we get to court, you get to know that maybe the judge there is my brother, would you be comfortable with the outcome?
No.
So these are the concerns H.E. John Dramani Mahama is raising. That the Constitution 1992 possibly envisaged that you have a president that who would exercise self-restraint. Self-restraint. We do know that there's no limit to the number of Supreme Court judges, correct? There's no limit to the number of justices of the High Court. There's no limit to the number of justices of the Court of Appeal. So it is left for a president to do what he wants to do. One president can decide that, you know what, let me appoint as many as I can. You understand? For obvious reasons. Another person will say, no, what's the utility in doing that? What benefit does it inure to the generality of the people? So today, as we speak, there are about 41 justices of the Court of Appeal, right? 31 of them were appointed to the court by Mr. Akufo-Addo.
31 out of 41.
Yes. So it may well be that these are the finest judges that you can have. But people will be asking, why 31? It may legitimately be explained that, oh, the workload is much, so you want more hands. You understand? But the perception of it, in fact, I'm sure once you got to know that this is the number, you yourself, you were shocked, correct? And this is the record in 6 years. In 6 years.
So you definitely agree with the former president when he said he's packed the court, and we know that they've packed the court because they want to avoid accountability after they have left office.
I am saying that I have given you numbers to the conversation. Are you not worried? 41, 31 out of 41 in 6 years. You think it's normal? Senna, currently we have about plus or minus 13 justices of the Supreme Court. Only one appointed by an NDC president. Justice Foreman, who is a known PNC General Secretary. You know that?
Yes.
I think he even once contested as a PNC parliamentary candidate in Navrungo or so. That is the level of fairness. Do you get it? I don't know. Do you get the point I'm making?
Yes, I get your point, but you've always...
Now, listen. So out of 13, one appointed by President Mahama, one appointed by President Akufo, the rest, that's about 11 by Akufo-Addo alone. Are we not worried about perception out there in public? Look, Senna, every Saturday, you are the host of a program called Alaji and Alaji. You, together with your producers, every weekend Saturday, would ensure that at least you have an NPP person on your panel, correct?
Yes.
You have an NDC person on your panel. Correct.
Mm.
Why do you do that? Why don't you assemble one-sided people on your distance? Why don't you do that?
And is that the balance that the former president is talking about seeking?
I'm asking you, why do you do that? Have the conversation. Why do you and your producers consciously every Saturday not put all NDC people on your panel? Why?
But does my question not address your question? I'm saying, because I asked, is that the balance?
You've not answered the question. No.
Well, you want to, as much as possible, put across a range of opinions from the major players. Balance is one of the reasons.
And fairness.
Yes.
Balance. Fairness. The views expressed by your panel, whether you agree or disagree, that is their view. You allow your listeners or viewers to make their discern what they want, correct? But you consciously make the opportunity for diversity, right? So these are legitimate concerns that have been raised. And look, the concerns echoed by H.E., the concerns and observations by H.E. John Dramani Mahama are not matters that are new. As I speak to you today, Sana, the United States of America, in the USO, their democracy is even much older than ours, correct?
Far older.
President Joseph Biden, has put together a presidential commission on judicial reform. So now, on judicial reform, why do you think President Joe Biden will do that? Because consistently, we have realized that the judiciary plays a very crucial role in political and social conflicts, correct? Political and social conflicts. Look, I have seen consistently how nominees to the Supreme Court of Ghana before parliamentary committees are having to respond to the issue of the use of birth certificates. Are you not worried?
I was coming to draw attention to the fact that there are three things you lawyers have always said judges rule on. Judges use in arriving at their conclusions on matters that are before them. You always say the law, precedents, and facts. If a judge follows that, does the judge's political leaning matter?
You understand? The Supreme Court has always been a policy court. The Supreme Court all over the world has always been a policy court. So in most cases, there's nothing like precedent. It's about policy. What precedent informed the decision on the birth certificate? So now,
so there are exceptions.
You see, we are genuinely worried and concerned. And let nobody trivialize the observation and concerns raised by H.E. John Dramani Mahama. This concern represents the views of the majority of the people of this country. People are genuinely worried. And you see, may we never may we never forget our history, forget our past as a people. The Akans have a saying that good living can easily breed forgetfulness. We should be concerned. As I speak to you today, the Democrats have put a bill before, I should think, Congress, the Judicial Reform Bill 2023. Because currently in the U.S., the U.S. Supreme Court has 9 permanent justices. You know that. Of the permanent justices, 9 are Republican presidents who nominated them. Only 3 are on the panel or the Supreme Court via appointment by Democratic presidents. And so if you have a decision or a situation where a matter with serious social and political implications come before the U.S. Supreme Court, listen carefully, and the outcome is 6-3. The 3 appointed by the Democratic president go one way. The 6 appointed by Republican presidents go one way. It calls for concern. Not long ago, a critical decision of the U.S. Supreme Court effectively overturned the decision in Roe versus Wade on abortion. Today, as we speak, that decision, its draft, got leaked prior to the November midterm election last year. In a very extraordinary manner, the U.S. Supreme Court called for an investigation into the leak of that decision. Do you know what happened? Do you know what happened?
Educate me.
The Republicans believe that their poor showing in the midterm election was as a result of the leaked draft report, because the majority took the view that they will abolish, quote-unquote, abortions. And women tend to be the largest voting bloc. And so it is believed that the women punished the Republicans in the midterm election because of that judgment of the U.S. Supreme Court. So you see how political decisions can even impact on electoral matters or outcomes of elections. So these are not matters to be trivialized. And like H.E. John Dramani Mahama made it clear, it is not going to be business as usual. Take it or leave it.
But is the solution more partisan, openly partisan judges, as he's suggesting? Because he says
the solution is one that requires balance.
Balance.
Yes. The only reason why somebody will wake up and watch Alaji and Alaji, who is an MPP person, is that he knows that at the end of the day, the views expressed on Alaji and Alaji, he has a rep there who will counter any argument from, even if there are 10 NDC people, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Do you call that partisanship? It's about ensuring fairness. How is this difficult for anybody? Huh? Senna, how is this difficult for anybody? Senna, listen carefully. You come to me or any other lawyer. You have a case. The case borders on the conduct of Mr. Akufo-Addo. The case borders on the conduct of Mr. Akufo-Addo. And you go to court. You go to court. And you go to court, and the panel, out of maybe 7, 6 were all appointed by Akufo-Addo. Even before you go to the court, how would you be feeling? It may well be that these are the best you can have. But on the face of it, how would you be feeling? And remember that justice delivery is predicated on public confidence. The only reason why you go to court is that you have confidence in the outcome of the court, correct? If not, no problem, you take it to Nogopo, which is closer to your hometown. Or
Well, this is what the CDD thinks about what the former president has said. They say it is a dim to Ghana's democracy. It is a dim for our fight for equality of law under our constitutional regime. It is a dim for justice for all. If I hear a politician, especially people who have held the highest position on our land, saying this, then probably they are trying to tell us the experiences they've had and probably the kind of structures they had when they were in office.
Who is saying this?
That's a statement, actually. Okay, that's actually by Senior Programs Officer at CDD Ghana, Paul Abrampa-Mensah.
Paul Abrampa.
Yes, Paul Abrampa-Mensah.
That's hypocritical. That's hypocritical. Completely hypocritical. Such Abrampa or whoever he is, is obviously burying his head like an ostrich. Like an ostrich. Outside this country, what civil society do is to be truthful, candid to duty bearers. I would dismiss this, whatever it is, with the contempt that it deserves.
Well, on the matter of what happened at that conference, there's an advice that has also come from Dr. Kojo Afarijan, who you invited to address you on electoral issues.
A great patriot of this country. By dint of his work, is a man, even though appointed under the Jerry Rawlings administration, saw peaceful transfer of power from the Jerry Rawlings administration to the Akufo administration.
Okay, having said that, this is what he says.
No, it didn't end there. Please permit me. We need to celebrate patriots. It didn't end there. He supervised peaceful transfer from the Akufo administration to an NDC administration. That is the kind of patriots that we need in this country, where your work shows your fidelity to the laws of this country, the growth and development of this country. That is the kind of leadership that we all want for this country. And, Senna, look at the time when Afarijan was on the commission. every single step that he has taken as the chairperson of the Electoral Commission is one to ensure the greater participation of our people in our electoral system. Look at the ones we have now. At every step of the way, their strategy is either to make things difficult for our people. That's the kind of people that we have. And we should all be concerned.
Now, this is what he says on your decision not to partake in IPAC. That's you, by you I mean the National Democratic Congress. He says it makes it possible, IPAC makes it possible to discuss concerns of political parties and makes it possible to contribute to making of subsidiary legislation, and I will appeal to the NDC to go back. This is his reason. Don't worry if your ideas are not adopted. Please go there and make your ideas felt. Indeed, in some cases, IPAC is the forum for stakeholder dialogue towards achieving common ownership of the Electoral Commission. Under Ghana's electoral system, there are many opportunities for political parties to participate in electoral processes that promote free and fair elections. He says his appeal is go back to IPAC. What do you say?
I think the respected Afarajan has made his point. Afarajan believes, from what you just read, that the IPAC platform provides the opportunity to put your views across. However, what Afarajan possibly did not address his mind to is the fact that the current duty bearers have made it expressly clear that as far as they are concerned, IPAC decisions are not binding on the commission. Senator, with respect, if there's an inter-party advisory committee, and one person says that when you come and you deliberate, your deliberations have no quote-unquote binding effect on me. Respectfully, Senator, why would you want to partake in that conversation? When Kwejo Afarajan was the Electoral Commission chairperson, I'll tell you something today. You know the CIs that they have been doing. There was a subcommittee at the Electoral Commission that takes charge of formulating. One of them used to be the deputy chair of the commission. He will chair it. There will be a rep from the NDC, and usually Hudiaya is a rep. Then there is a rep from the MPP. This man, this respected man, Obi Amwa. Then there will be a rep from the Attorney General. Bernard Mona and sometimes Kabila used to represent the CPP. So they will sit down and look at various views and collate and formulate the constitutional instruments. Do you know that immediately Jane Mensah came, she disbanded that committee. She did CI 126. No input from that committee. She did CI 127. No search. The current CI before Parliament, no such engagement. So, do you see where the NDC is coming from? This woman believes that she's the queen of queens, lord of lords. That's where the challenge is.
But he admits, in fact, if you leave it, because I know you listened to him when he said that, but he also says, don't worry if your ideas are not adopted. Please go there and make your ideas felt. So he knows that, of course, he's aware of the fact that they are not being adopted.
Listen, if it's just about where to vindicate an idea, I'm expressing ideas on your platform, correct? Because if ultimately the only use is to express, then I can do that with different platforms, correct?
Clearly, you're sticking to your guns, unless the EC changes its ways.
No, those decisions, remember, are taken at the very highest level. I am just saying that our previous stand, the stand now, is informed today by the conduct of the holder of that office. What says that?
Let's move on to another development which had to do with what happened in court yesterday, as I understand it.
Sena,
yes.
I'm the lawyer on record.
Okay.
Yes.
No, I do understand that. I just wanted the facts of what happened. That's all.
Well, no, that may look like I'm arguing my case.
Oh, not really. Just okay. You have already argued, and the judge has told you something. So exactly.
Okay, so basically, what happened is that we had to raise some preliminary objections as to the competency of the application, and same preliminary objection was responded to by the lawyers of the police. After that, the judge gave an indication that the arguments were comprehensive and that he couldn't just do a bench ruling. So basically, that's what happened.
Okay. Has given you time to return for that ruling? Friday. Okay. Thank you very much, lawyer.
Thank you too.
Lawyer Edudzi Tamakloe speaking to us, Director of Legal NDC. Well, like you said, they were in court yesterday on the matter of the demonstration